The land, pride of the land, will forever be each other. Forgive and let it go. Together we can stand, come what may, and the future lies in us. Teach our children to fear and love the Creator. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful and glorious and stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. The land, the king of the city is marching. Stand up high to the pride of the land. The founding fathers have labored and our time to service now. The glory of the new Edo nation will forever be our pride. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful and glorious and stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Our treasures are found in all nations, and our greatness is second to none. Our history forever shall be written, how our kings have endured all times. Our people cultured in unity, our hearts beat for the land. Rich culture, stories of heroes, legacies forever be. Beautiful and global and glorious and stars are singing.
The 5th edition of the Alaghodaro Summit, organized by the Edo State Government in collaboration with private partners to showcase opportunities and engender sustainable development in Edo State. The theme for this year's celebration is the Edo of our dreams, building a sustainable future. New Festival Hall, Government House, Benin City. Sunday, 14th November 2021. Praise Night at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. No matter what, the future of Edo is secure.
The land, the king of the city is marching. Stand up high to the pride of the land. The founding fathers have labored, and our time to service will forever be our pride. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful and glorious and stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Our treasures are found in all nations, and our greatness is second to none. Our history forever shall be written, how our kings have endured all times. Our people cultured in unity, our hearts beat for the land. Rich culture, stories of heroes, legacies forever be. Beautiful and glorious and you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful stand with each other. Forgive and let it go. Together we can stand, come what may. And our future lies in us. Teach our children to teach their children what our fathers taught. To fear and love the Creator, only then shall we succeed. Beautiful Adam, glorious Adam, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Adam, glorious Adam, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. The ancient city is calling. Oh, arise, sons and daughters of the land. The king of the city is marching. Stand up high to the pride of the land. The founding fathers have labored, and our time to serve is now. The glory of the new Edo nation will forever be our pride. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Our treasures are found in all nations, and our greatness is second to none. Our history forever shall be written, how our kings have endured all times. Our people cultured in unity, our hearts beat for the land. Rich culture, stories of heroes, legacies forever be. Beautiful Adam, glorious Adam, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Adam, glorious Adam, stars are singing.
The 5th edition of the Alaghodaro Summit, organized by the Edo State Government in collaboration with private partners to showcase opportunities and engender sustainable development in Edo State. The theme for this year's celebration is the Edo of our dreams, building a sustainable future. Activities include Saturday 13th November, Grand Sunday 14th November 2021, Praise Night at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. No matter what, the future of Edo is secure.
What our fathers taught. To fear and love the Creator, only then shall we succeed. Beautiful Adam, glorious Adam, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Adam, glorious Adam, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be.
Good afternoon. You're welcome to another edition of the Edo Live Studio for the Alaghodaro 2021. And it's a pleasure again to have you on watching us here, right here from the heart of Benin. We have our guests, but before we introduce our guests to you, whom I'm sure you'll be very glad and happy to meet, I would like to my colleague in the studio, Sarah Igumbo, to give us a short snippet of the news.
Thank you very much, Peter. on and conveyance letter to applicants whose applications were processed within the last 10 days. Officials of the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, Environment and Sustainability, Infrastructure, Justice and the Edo State Geographical Flago at the Government House, Benin City. The Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Isoken Omo, said the development is part of Governor Godwin Obaseki's led government's efforts at embracing e-governance. So applicants who received their building plans and conveyance letter to flag off the new phase of processing the documents include Mr. and stopping building collapse, Marcos Onobu, and Special Advisor to the President on Ease of Doing Business, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, are amongst guests expected to share insights and perspectives on the bottom-up approach to reinventing governance and highlight strategies to improving the business environment on a special panel at this year's Alaghodaro Summit. Others listed for the plenary section include the Executive Director, African Network for Environment and Economic Justice, Reverend David Ugolo, and Edo State Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Joseph Egbeigbe, while Regional Director, Africa, BBC Global News, Mrs. Yewande Adewusi, will serve as moderator. According to the Chairman, Marketing and Branding Subcommittee, Alasaige, who spoke to journalists in Benin City, the Alaghodaro Summit in its 5th edition will take place between November 12th and 14, 2021, with the theme, Edo of Our Dreams, Building a Sustainable Future. That's all on the news flash. Over to you, Peter.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We have here in the studio Mr. Andrew Adaze EMWANTA, Commissioner for Communication and Orientation. A lot of people are ready. You have a lot of questions for this guy. And so he's going to be providing you every question, every answer to every question. But before his profile, to the governor on public affairs, in the immediate past administration of Governor Godwin Obaseki, EMWANTA obtained a law degree from Benson Idahosa University, Benin City, the Edo State, in Edo State, and is an alumnus of the Nigerian Law School Buhari campus, FCT Abuja. He is an associate member of the Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria and a full member of the Certified Shipping Institute of Nigeria and the Policy and Law Reform Center. In 2016, EMWANTA was sponsored by the Abuja delegation of the International Committee of the Red Cross to attend the All-African Course on International Humanitarian Law at the University of South Africa, Brooklyn Campus, Pretoria. He served as a senior legislative correspondent, Caracal Reports, New York, USA. He also served as managing partner, Truth, Fairness and Justice Associates, a law firm in FCT, Abuja, and Benin City. Absolutely. We're so happy to see you. We're so happy to have you on set. Now, can you tell us, you decided to serve in this government. Let's start from the very, very first. Why?
Thank you for that question. And I think for me, it is a great honor to be part of this epoch-making administration in terms of when you look at the achievement of this government, one is constrained to start from where the passion and the interest started. The interest started from when you saw a whole lot of projects that people made look so impossible. Block C and D of the Edo civil service buildings that were abandoned over 40 years ago. This was one government that took the bull by the horn, and that has given our civil service a total transformation and a facelift. Before now, they say Edo State is a civil service state, but you find that this present government has transformed the look. It is no longer a civil service state, but a place where ease of doing business is sure. So imagine me as an academic to now just all of a sudden join politics. It shows because we've seen one of our own, because the governor being a technocrat, somebody who has gone through the mill and has decided to give Edo people reasons to be proud of where they come from. Remember, this is a state that started from being a region, or rather part of a region, the Western region. We broke away from Western region around 1963, 1964 to become a Midwest, region. And from being a Midwest region, we became a state, and we're known as great in many areas, in sports, in industry.
Please don't forget to drop your questions on the comment section so that we can ask our Honorable Commissioner that is here with us live at the Alaghodaro studio. And don't forget to please stream and throw up their questions so that it can be addressed. Now, our Honorable State's economy.
Thank you for that question.
And Edo people.
Thank you for that. I'm afraid that NEPA will go off. This is the very first time consciously one is in the office and you know that you are sure of 24 hours, like the Dangote refinery in Lagos. Okay. And apart from that, it has benefits in the area of employment generation, and a whole lot of cottage industries will open up around that area. The real estate business around that area will expand. So the benefits are quite enormous. And that makes Edo State one of those industrial hubs, because Nigeria being the 6th largest producer of oil, and we still import. So Edo State is within that map of states that have refineries and for free like gas. So you find that there's a nexus between the Osiomo Power and our refinery project, the PPP, that has given birth to the Edo Petrochemical Company. So for me, those two projects are projects that has direct economic benefit on our people and has revolutionized the way people see government. Before now, people used to think government's business is strictly public service. This is one government that has brought in private sector investment. And both projects has a PPP element, public-private partnership element. Then the third is the Iriri, Arogba, Obazagbon, Obagenusa up to Ihigi Road. Very huge project cutting across about 5 different communities. Wow. And that has opened up the real estate sector in that part. Because before now, those areas were part of Benin City, but rural part of Benin City. So that project has practically urbanized that part. You find that a whole lot of estates are springing up. And funny enough, our tech park, which will be commissioned today, is located within that axis. Wow. And the World Bank, of course, the governor is having meetings with them today. So the World Bank has keyed into that project, and other multilateral agencies have keyed into that project. So in terms of the infrastructural interventions, I've been able to bring out this theory. Then let's look at the non-infrastructural interventions. The Edo Best. The Edo Best program has transformed basic education in our states. Our people before now, nobody will want to send their children or wards to public schools. But now you find that public African sub-region have copied what the Edo Best program, has brought in terms of the way our students now learn from, Choice Bright. Yes. The facilities the government has provided over 1 million books, over 11,000 teachers have been trained, and the process is on. It's not something that will just end with this administration. When you set that trajectory, it means that even governments that will come after this present government will key into it. Like the Lagos State government came to copy from Edo. Yes. And so if we say Edo not be Lagos, it is still part of that narrative. That is Edo Best. Let me talk about the Edo GIS, the Edo Geographic Information Service, that has transformed the entire landscape of the real estate business, because most people used to have problems with C of O and acquiring titles. And to a very large extent, the Edo GIS has made it very easy. So once you have a property you have bought, the process, the waiting time of getting your C of O is so short. Before now, it could take years. And this is one government that once the government gets a file of C of O applications, he approves it immediately. It is his signature that is required under the Land Use Act. And the government does not delay in putting that signature to it. And you find that a whole lot of our young people have gone into real estate business as agents. So that is one of the interventions. I think that's the fifth. Second, in the non-infrastructural area. The last but not the least is the Edo Health Improvement Program, what we call Edo HIP. The idea of the governor is to make healthcare accessible through the Edo State Health Insurance Scheme, so that with even as little as 15 naira, you can contribute on a monthly basis. When you now look at the cumulative benefits of that investment, whenever you are sick or whenever you have an emergency, you can even walk up to any of our health care facilities, from the primary to the secondary, which of course you have the Edo Specialist Hospital and the Stella Obasanjo Hospital that has been expanded from being a mother and child hospital to a full-blown, hospital, like the Edo Specialist Hospital.
Just a quick follow-up question. By November 12th, it will be exactly 3 years to the end of this administration. So the question is the Benin River Port
the Edo Modular Refinery, and other legacy projects of the governor. Is it still realizable at this stage?
It is realizable because when you talk of the Benin River Port project, you know, I'm not going to complain about COVID. You know, it had serious impact on, you know, global economy, and of course, Edo cannot be an exception. But again, these are projects that require certain approvals. You know, there are things you cannot just do on your own. You know, the issue of ports and what have you fall within the exclusive list. And until these approvals are granted, not much could be done. So to a very large extent, government has done its own part. We have for like the Benin industrial park projects, the anchor tenant already has gone far with some of those arrangements that needs to be made. But as an anchor tenant, the COVID also affected them. These are Chinese investors, and you know this COVID thing started from Wuhan in China. So to a very large extent, COVID was a major setback. But that is not to say that between now and 2022, I mean, in the new year, we expect that the anchor tenant would have started his activities there. And you know, the industrial park has a nexus with because for you to say you need approvals from the federal government, you must justify it. You must have an export processing zone. You must have, you know, running. And the tech park, as I said, will be commissioned today. So this, of course, forms the ecosystem of what will now become the Benin River Park project. So that when the federal government sees all these projects, clusters of this, you know, it will become impossible for that approval for the ports commencement, you know. And again, there are things that involves infrastructure, marine base and all of that. Those things are being put in place. You know.
We'll come back to you shortly. We'll be going in a very short break. And after the break, the commissioner is here in the live stream, and we'll definitely pass it across. Thank you.